Hi, welcome everybody. My name is Steve Scherzer, and beside me here is Ryan Litweiler. We're going to talk to you today about building sales in a tough economy. I think really this presentation is going to be more about not just building sales in a tough economy, but building sales in any economy, whether it be a tough economy or a good economy. And this is going to be relative to the home builder market, anybody that's building homes or anybody that's remodeling homes, contractors and such. And the idea here is really how can we talk to people and be able to make a connection and build a relationship with people to ultimately turn them into a customer down the road. And before we get too started before we get too deep into all of that, I want to tell a little bit of a story. And I want to introduce you to Susan. And Susan is going to go over to one of her friend's house. And when Susan goes over to her friend's house, her friend actually invited her for a very specific reason. She wanted to show off her brand new bathroom that she had. And Susan takes a look at this bathroom and her mouth is just dropped. She's just like, wow, this is a beautiful, beautiful bathroom. And Susan then thinks about her bathroom. She starts to think, oh, well, my bathroom really doesn't look quite that nice. And Susan's really seriously now considering, I need to get my bathroom remodeled. And so she asks her friend, well, which contractor did you use? I'm interested in doing this. And so her friend then tells her the contractor, and they have a good night, and Susan goes home. Well, when Susan gets home, she decides to pull out her phone and go on Facebook, and she asks around to her friends and family, who should she consider when it comes to getting her bathroom redone? Her friends and family give her some ideas, and so she decides then to go to Google and start doing a search for some of these contractors, right? So the friend that she had talked to originally said, you need to call ABC Contracting Company. They're great, right? Well, when she goes to put that ABC Contractor Company name into Google, she can't even find them. They're not visible at all. They don't have a website. There's no reviews. But as she's there in Google, she starts to notice some other contractors that are there. And she recognizes one of them. It could have been one of those contractors that she saw on Facebook. It could have been a contractor maybe that just had good name recognition. Maybe they were someone that advertises in the market or has a good name. So she clicks on them, and their website, if you remember, she's on a mobile phone. The website's not mobile friendly. It's not what's called responsive design, or it doesn't resize itself nicely so that Susan's able to then find the information and have a good first impression. And when you have a website that doesn't really answer any questions, it makes it difficult for Susan to decide, well, first off, do they even do bathroom remodeling? And show me some of the things that make me want to use you as a contractor. So the idea here is what would you do if you were Susan? How would you decide on a contractor for your bathroom in this scenario? Really that comes down to why we're here. As contractors, as professionals in the building trades industry, it's important that we understand Susan and how Susan is trying to connect with us. So when we consider this, we really need to evaluate how we are connecting with Susan when she picks up that phone. We're here specifically because ProBuild asked us to come here and help you understand Susan better so that you're able to connect with her on various levels. What our hope is that when you finish this presentation, when you've gone through it, you'll understand from a 10,000 foot view, how is Susan thinking, and how can I connect with her on a more effective basis, and what are some things that I could take away from this to be able to make better decisions on how my business connects with her. But before we can understand that, we really need to grasp the fact that the internet has fundamentally changed the way people find, discover, share, shop, and connect. And when we think about that statement and we let it settle in our brains for a little bit, you have to ask yourself, have we evolved in the ways that we're reaching our customers? When you think about how things were in the past, you could connect with people really primarily in 5 different places. You could do direct mail or direct marketing, as they call it. You could make phone calls. You could send out stuff in the mail. You could do TV. Right? People were watching TV, so you could just put an ad on TV. You could put an ad on radio. You could put an ad in the newspaper. You could do other sources of print. You could do billboard, posters or flyers, or you could even do yellow pages, which a lot of people still do in the building trades industry. But unfortunately, when you look at now, this really represents how people are consuming information today. And if you look at today compared to the past, it really settles in exactly how granular this world can get. So when we consider how complicated this is, and if you're a contractor, you're probably looking at this and saying, how in the heck am I even supposed to afford to hit all of these mediums, let alone know what to do and where to do it? And so the idea that we really want to put forth is, how can we simplify this into how Susan is thinking, so we'll be able to make better informed decisions as to what to do. So when we consider all of these different options, it really becomes very important to have a strategy. But how do you have a strategy? We have to find a way to simplify this entire fragmentation. All these people are looking and going to so many different sources of information and entertainment. So how do we even do that? Well, think back to Susan and how she goes through her decision-making process, and it's changed drastically as it was in the past. If you can consider the past, this is how Susan's scenario would have gone with her friend. She would have went over to her friend's house like she did, and she would have saw the bathroom that her friend had, and her friend would have told her where she got it done. And what Susan would have done at that point then is say, oh, okay, who's the company you work with? Oh, ABC Contracting. Great. What's their number? Let me go ahead and give them a call. So then she'd call ABC Contracting and maybe get one or two other quotes, but ultimately ABC Contracting had the best shot at getting that business. And then it would be up to them to then go ahead and take that quote, turn it into a sale, and ultimately make it a positive experience for the customer. So we have a stimulus, which was whatever got Susan into the market. We have the first moment of truth, which would be the decision to contact the company or contact ABC Contracting and decide whether to purchase. And then the second moment of truth, which is the experience that Susan had. And that's really all the contractor had to worry about, or even the home builder had to worry about in order for them to keep growing their business. But what's happened now, and when you consider what Susan did earlier in the earlier example, is there's this zero moment of truth. This moment in which people do their research to decide on who to call. She went to her Facebook, she asked her friends, she went on Google, she did some searches, she looked at websites, she looked at reviews. One thing that we didn't show Susan doing, but I'm sure she did, is she looked at videos. She got excited about probably the different types of fixtures, like a new faucet or a new shower head or, a new, like those new sinks that you can see. She'll start looking at products and getting ideas. I mean, the average person uses 10.4 sources of information before they make a decision now. And it's just because that information is readily available. So when we look at this as how Susan's thinking as just a simple model, we can really understand the importance of being part of that zero moment of truth so that we're not stimulating business, or I should say our referral network, our Susan's friends, aren't stimulating someone into the market just so that when they get to the zero moment of truth, they go to our competitors. We need to make sure that in the zero moment of truth that we're also saying and doing the same things that we do in the real world. So in order for us to be able to understand this and come up with a strategy, we really just need to break out each one of these components in order to be able to get an idea of how we can start to tell the story that we want to tell. So when we talk about the stimulus, we talk about getting people's attention and getting them motivated into the market. There's a lot of different things that do that. It could be a need. So if we keep talking about things relevant to Susan just in the interest of keeping things easy to understand, it could just be that maybe she's got a bathtub that's leaking or rotting the floor. She has actually a need to get something fixed. And as she looks at that, she decides to herself, what, if I'm going to go ahead and rip this bathroom out or bathtub out, I might as well go ahead and get my bathroom redone. And that would stimulate her into the market. It could be just traditional advertising. It could be that she saw an ad of somebody showing a beautiful bathroom and a before picture that maybe looked similar to her bathroom, and now she's interested. So advertising could be something that motivates her into the market. It could be what specifically happened in our example. The fact that she just went over to her friend's house, saw a beautiful bathroom, and got excited. And so now I'm going to turn it over to Ryan. He's going to go more into the zero moment of truth and go get a little deeper into how that plays into this.
Thanks, Steve. So this is the exciting part. This is the part that has changed most recently, just with the rise of the internet, with the rise of technology, that just makes this step so much easier and really makes it possible where the step wasn't possible in the past. So at the zero moment of truth, this is where the magic happens. This is where the research happens after that stimulus, whether it's an internal stimulus or an external stimulus. The zero moment of truth is all about research. It's taking that next step. Okay, I need a new bathroom. What am I going to do next? And really, if you reach into your pocket, I'm sure you probably have a smartphone, as most Americans do. And really, that's one of the first steps that people take. It's looking on, researching on Google, looking at reviews, asking their friends, and so forth online. So really, asking your network. If you think about in the past, people have been asking their network for referrals for years, and I'm sure this is a main thing that has built your business. But with technology, we can just like Susan did, she asked on Facebook, who would you recommend for redoing my bathroom? And within a matter of minutes, she can get a whole list of referrals from people who she trusts. She may even get referrals from people who she's never met before. So technology has just really opened up the opportunity to ask your network and get feedback almost instantaneously. Like I said, search online. People, when we want information, we want it quick. We don't want to wait for that information. So one of the first things that a lot of people do is reach for their phone and they're looking on Google, Yahoo, and Bing. There's actually 20 billion searches just in the United States per month. 20 billion that people are searching for anything and everything. So in this case, they could be searching for, okay, who should I have? What company, is a good company that can redo my bathroom? And they're probably even looking for more details about the project. What cupboards or what cabinets should I get in my bathroom? Is there a toilet that's more efficient with water than another one? Is there a sink? What brand should I be looking for? So people are searching online for all that, and online really makes it very simple to compare alternatives. Without the internet, it's pretty time consuming to compare alternatives. You might have to actually walk in different stores. You might have to call a lot of different people. But online, you can have two windows open and you can be looking at things very easily. Another thing, as Steve mentioned, people love to watch videos online, read articles online. So just doing the research for what those projects are and getting answers to the questions that they're looking for. And that's really, in reading reviews, as in the example, the internet makes it easy for people to post good and bad reviews. So having those good reviews on your business listings can really make an impact at this point when people are making decisions. So really the zero moment of truth is so critical, because without, as people are in this research stage, if you're not being found online, if you're not answering the questions that people have at this moment, it makes it really easy for them to continue their search to the next contractor or to the next brand, and really leave you out of the next step. And really what the next step is that connection. It's the first moment of truth. It's that first connection with your company. So the zero moment of truth is so critical, because if you can't make it past that step, you won't even have a shot at getting a call for the business. And really what that looks like is that first interaction. It's a phone call. It could be filling out a form online. It could be asking for a quote. It could be asking for an in-home estimate and things like that. So that's why the zero moment of truth is so critical, because without without being successful in there, you'll never make it to the first moment of truth. And what's interesting is when Susan, when she was flustered because she couldn't find the answers to her questions. So if she would have called the contractor that she couldn't really see their website on her phone, the conversation, I'm sure it would have went something like this. She would have said, well, I'm not sure if you do bathroom remodeling or not, because I can't tell from your website. Or, are you licensed? Are you insured? What other work have you done? Do you have any testimonials? But the conversation would have been totally different if she would have been finding what she was looking for on the website. Then the questions would have been more like, I've seen what you do online. I'm very impressed. When can you come out and look at my bathroom? When can you come and do an in-home estimate? So this, again, the zero moment of truth is critical in what happens at this first moment of truth. From there, it's all about the experience. After that first connection, after that first impression, if the person's happy, they're gonna say, yeah, let's move forward. And that's really that experience. And expectations matter. As long as the job is done on time with quality, expectations are met, that customer's going to be happy. The quality of work, communication after the sale, following up, and saying, hey, were you pleased with our service? Were you pleased with everything? Is there anything that we can do to improve next time? That's always very important at this stage. And this stage is really very important as well because it's so easy then to share this experience, right? So when Susan asked her friend who did her bathroom, this is her second moment of truth, her friend's second moment of truth, because then she can share, I love my bathroom. The contractor who did it, they were on time, they were under budget. It was a really good experience. Or it could have been a different conversation. It could have been a negative conversation. Well, their quality was good, but I had to, beg them to come here, and they didn't come for 3 days, and they didn't tell me about it. So again, this second moment of truth, this experience, is a very crucial step, especially with referrals. So, kind of wrapping this all up. So how would she wanted this story to go, right? So she visits her friend. She sees her friend has a brand new bathroom. She loves it. So that's the stimulus. Now, at the zero moment of truth, now it's her research phase. Susan gave her the name, ABC Contractor. So she pulls out her phone. She goes, okay, well, I want to see what this company is all about. So by this contractor making it very easy to be found online, the website gave a good first impression. It was optimized for her phone. It answered all of her questions. She knew that she would probably be able to, that this company was taking new projects. They looked like they were affordable. They looked like they did great work. They had some great references and testimonials on the site. So it gave her a good first impression. It answered all of her questions. She was able to read some articles, some videos that they had on their site. And from that, she was really able to say, yep, based on my friend's recommendation and based on what I found out about them, this sounds like a good company. So after contacting them, this might be the only company she needs to contact, because at this point she feels confident. And, as long as everything goes well over the phone, the estimate comes back good, this could be the sale, and then she would have her bathroom that she always dreamed about. So the story about Susan is really a fictitious story, but it's really based on data and fact and really how people are behaving today. But I wanted to give you a real example because this is so powerful. And so recently I was working with a bathroom contractor, and I've been working with these guys for several years now. And he's a very traditional company. They only focus on bathrooms until recently, and they would just use very traditional methods to get their name out into the community. So a couple years ago when the stock market crashed, I remember very, very clearly the conversations that we had together. that fall, it was a very scary time, and with their clients being 55 years and older, those who had a lot of their investment retirement money just taking a nosedive with this stock market crash. These people were not, even if they needed a bathroom, they were not pulling the trigger to get a bathroom done. And this contractor they were scared. They were running deals like I've never seen before, just to get people to come in and to pull the trigger, but people just weren't doing it. So through all these discussions, they realized that, there's still people that need their bathrooms redone. They're still going to get them done. They might not get them done, the buying cycle may be a little longer than usual, and some people may still need a new bathroom, but they may say, you know what, we just can't afford it now, or we're going to wait longer. So the number of people would be fewer, but they realize that, hey, we need to get with the times, and we need to reach these people more efficiently, those who are going to pull the trigger. So they did a few things. They got a new website. Actually, they didn't even have a website before this, so they realized that they needed to have a presence online. They also decided to they actually decided to expand into kitchen remodeling, which makes sense for them because some of the processes and products are very similar between bathrooms and kitchens. The problem is nobody knew that they did kitchens because they were only known for their bathroom work. So what they did is they, with the internet and technology, they actually had ran some ads online targeted to people who were interested in home improvement topics. So people are reading articles on HGTV, they're watching videos on YouTube, home improvement related. They had ads there targeting those people. And they said, hey, we not only do bathrooms, we do kitchens as well. And the really exciting thing about this is they invested in a search engine marketing program. And really what that is when people were searching for things like bathroom contractor, Flint, Michigan, kitchen remodeling, Flint, Michigan, that their listing would come up to the top of the search engine results page in Google, Yahoo, or Bing, and people would find their website by this. So what's really exciting about this is that so many people responded. We're searching in their market for kitchen remodeling, but this bathroom contractor never came up because nobody knew that they did kitchens until now. And after a few months of really understanding how people were searching, understanding that people were interested in bathrooms and kitchens in their backyard, and really understanding how to reach them, after a few months they had to remodel their showroom because in the past only about 10% of their showroom had demos for kitchen in it, and they had to break it up so it was about 50-50 because they were getting so many people walking in their showroom saying, show me what you can do with kitchens. I hear you can do kitchens now, and it has really transformed their business. Super, super exciting stuff. So really, I just want to wrap things up real quick, and we have a few takeaways for you. And really, as you leave the builder show, and as you go throughout your season, this year, we just want, and we just hope that we've been able to communicate just the new way, this new model of marketing, the way that people behave now, the way that they search for information, this whole zero moment of truth, just being able to really understand that as your foundation for your marketing efforts. Obviously, the foundation of a house when you're building it is your most important part, because without that firm foundation, everything else is done in void. So just having that understanding of how people are utilizing the internet and technology to make decisions now. What's also very important to understand is to know where you are and where you need to be. So if you type in your GPS that you want to go to Mackinac City, it's going to ask you, okay, where are you right now? After the GPS knows where you are right now, then it can tell you how to get to your final destination. The same thing with your marketing, with your online presence. Where are you right now? Do you have a website? Is your website answering the questions that people are asking? Is your business listings found online? Things like that. And after you honestly ask yourself this question, that will tell you, what you need to do to get to where you want to be and need to be. And really that comes down to this last thing too, just really utilizing the zero moment of truth in all of your interactions with clients. So I hope this session was very helpful and useful to you and your business. We wish you a great year, and please feel free to reach out to Steve or myself with any questions. We would love to have a chat with you if you would like. Thank you.